Welcome to Vedic Counselor, where ancient Vedic wisdom meets modern scientific insight.
Hello and welcome. Today, we're going on a journey, not to a place, but into a sound. A single sacred syllable that is said to hold the key to unlocking wisdom, creativity, and a deeper intelligence. I'm so glad you're here.
So let me ask you this right at the start. What if the key to unlocking that huge ocean of potential inside you wasn't some complicated process, but just a sound, a simple, powerful vibration? Just think about that for a moment.
To really get our heads around the Aim Mantra, we first have to understand the family it belongs to. These are called Beej Mantras, and you can literally think of them as sacred seeds made of sound. So what is a Beej Mantra? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like, a seed. You know how a tiny little acorn holds the entire blueprint for a massive oak tree? It's the same idea here. A Beej Mantra is a single syllable that contains the complete energy, the total vibe of a divine force. It's the powerful starting point from which everything else grows. Now this is a really cool comparison. We all know right? The universal sound. Think of as the silent, limitless potential of the universe, just waiting. Well, Aim is its active, creative partner. It's the sound of that potential actually bursting into life as a new idea, a piece of music, a brilliant insight. It's the spark of creation itself. All right, so now that we know where Aim fits into the big picture, let's zoom in and decode the sound itself. This is where we find the power. It sounds so simple, right? It's pronounced AM, but let's break that down. The first part, I, is all about that raw, creative energy, wisdom flowing freely. And the second part, that gentle hum at the end, the M sound, that's known as the bindu. Its job is to kind of seal that creative energy and plug it into a higher, more refined consciousness. And when you make that connection, it's said to switch on some amazing faculties inside of you. We're talking about buddhi, your sharp, discerning intellect; smrti, your ability to remember things clearly; dharana, that deep, unwavering concentration; and one of my favorites, vak, the power of eloquent, persuasive speech. These are basically the superpowers of a brilliant mind. So, where does all this amazing power actually come from? Well, in this tradition, every Beej Mantra has a living, divine consciousness behind it. And for Aim, that consciousness is personified as the incredible grace of Saraswati. Yes, Goddess Saraswati is the deity, the divine personality of this sound. So when you chant Aim, you're not just making a noise, you're directly tuning into her frequency. She is the very embodiment of everything this mantra activates: pure knowledge, music, art, learning. She is the living energy behind the vibration. And if you look at how she's depicted, everything tells a story. The white lotus she sits on, that's about pure, unfiltered knowledge. The veena, which is like a lute, represents all the arts in a sense of harmony. The book, of course, is for all learning, and the rosary, well, that's about the spiritual discipline you need to master it all. It's a beautiful picture of what a free-flowing creative intelligence looks like. Okay, so let's bring this down from the cosmos and into our daily lives. What does tuning into this energy actually do for you? What are the real-world benefits for your mind and soul? The benefits are honestly pretty profound. If you're a student or just anyone feeling that mental fog from information overload, this can really help sharpen your focus. If you're an artist, a musician, a writer, it's said to give your creative talents a serious boost. And for anyone who has to speak or communicate, it can really strengthen that power. It just brings a kind of calm, clear, refined quality to your whole thinking process. So you might be asking, how much do I need to do this to see results? Well, the traditional, you could say, magic number is this: 108. Chanting the mantra 108 times a day is the recommended practice for that energy to really take root and for you to start noticing a real difference. So, if this is all starting to sound pretty good to you, you're probably wondering, okay, how do I actually start? The great news is it's way more accessible than you might think. Let's walk through the path to practice together. First things first, preparation. And this is simple. It's really just about setting the mood. Find a quiet, clean little corner for yourself. Wear something comfortable. Traditionally, people sit facing east or north, the directions associated with wisdom. And having a picture of Saraswati can be a really helpful focal point to keep your mind from wandering. Now for the practice itself. Start by just taking a few deep breaths to settle your mind.
Then, as you begin chanting, either the simple or the slightly longer nama, try to put all your focus on the feeling of the sound vibrating. Then, and this part is so important, after you're done, just sit in silence for a few minutes. Let that energy soak in. And finally, just end with a quiet moment of gratitude. That's it. Now, to really get the most out of it, there are a few simple guidelines. Consistency is huge. Trying to practice at the same time every day really builds momentum. It's also about keeping their intention pure and just trying to steer clear of negativity. It's not about being rigid. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports the very clarity you're trying to build. So who can do this? Look at this list. It's for students, teachers, artists, speakers. Honestly, it's for anyone who uses their mind to learn, create, or connect. It doesn't matter how old you are or what your background is. If you're on a journey of growth, this is for you. And this is really important. Some of these seed mantras can be pretty intense and require a guide, but Aim is considered incredibly safe and perfect for beginners. Why? Because you're calling on the gentle, kind, and benevolent energy of Goddess Saraswati. All that's really required is a little sincerity. And so a beautiful way to close your practice is with this full mantra of respect. Om Aim Saraswatyaye Nama. It's basically like saying, I offer my gratitude and bow to the divine consciousness of wisdom and knowledge. It's a lovely final gesture. And that brings us back to where we started, with a final thought for you to carry with you. What if the path to becoming more creative, more successful, more illuminated, what if it isn't about struggling and pushing harder? What if it's just about learning to tune into the right frequency? What if it's about listening to the sound of wisdom that's already waiting inside you?
If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel Vedic Counselor. For personal astrology consultation, horoscope analysis, or Vastu consultation, you can contact us on WhatsApp 919219539215 or visit our website www.vediccounselor.com. Thank you for watching.